We've all been there. That rush of excitement when you click buy now on something you just to have, the instant gratification, the anticipation of its arrival. But then, the feeling fades, and you're left staring at your bank account, wondering where all your money went. I've been there too, countless times. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, especially with how accessible online shopping is these days. I remember one time I bought this fancy espresso machine. It was sleek, it was shiny, and it promised barista quality coffee from the comfort of my own home. Sounded amazing, right? Well, it was for about a week. Then it just sat on my counter, gathering dust. Turns out, I actually enjoy the ritual of going to my local coffee shop and chatting with the baristas. The espresso machine was an expensive lesson in impulse control. Those buyer's remorse moments can be real downers, but they also serve as valuable wake-up calls. They force us to take a hard look at our spending habits and ask ourselves, do I really need this? More often than not, the answer is a resounding no. The good news is, breaking free from the cycle of impulsive spending is totally possible. It starts with understanding your triggers, setting clear financial goals, and arming yourself with practical tips to make smarter choices with your money. Before you can tackle overspending, you need to understand what makes you reach for your wallet in the first place. These are your spending triggers, and they can be anything from targeted ads on social media to that treat yourself mentality after a long day. Maybe you're an emotional spender, seeking comfort in retail therapy after a stressful day. Or perhaps you're a social spender, influenced by friends and trends. Whatever your triggers are, identifying them is the first step to breaking free from their hold. Start by keeping a spending journal for a week or two. Write down everything you buy, no matter how small. Then, next to each purchase, jot down how you were feeling at that moment. Were you stressed, bored, happy, excited? This will help you identify patterns and pinpoint your personal spending triggers. Once you know your triggers, you can start to avoid them. If social media ads are your weakness, consider unfollowing accounts that tempt you to spend. If stress shopping is your vice, find healthier ways to de-stress, like exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Having clear financial goals is like having a destination on a map. It gives you direction and motivation to stay on track. Without goals, it's easy to drift aimlessly through your finances, wondering where all your money went. Think about what you want to achieve financially. Do you want to save for a down payment on a house, pay off debt, take that dream vacation? Whatever your aspirations, write them down and be specific. Instead of saying, I want to save more money, say, I want to save $5,000 for a down payment on a car in the next year. Seeing your goals written down makes them feel more real and attainable. It also helps you prioritize your spending. When you're tempted to splurge on something, ask yourself, does this purchase align with my financial goals? If not, it might be time to reconsider. I know, the dreaded B word. Budgeting often gets a bad rap, conjuring up images of restrictive spending plans and penny pinching. But here's the thing. A budget isn't about depriving yourself. It's about taking control of your money and making it work for you. Creating a budget is simpler than you might think. Start by tracking your income and expenses for a month. This will give you a clear picture of where your money is going. Then, categorize your spending into needs and wants. Needs are essentials, like housing, food, and transportation. Wants are things you enjoy but could live without, like dining out, entertainment, and yes, even that fancy espresso machine. Once you have a good understanding of your cash flow, you can start allocating your income towards your expenses and savings goals. There are tons of budgeting methods out there, so find one that resonates with you. The 50-30-20 rule is a popular one. It suggests allocating 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. Okay, so you've identified your triggers, set your goals, and created a budget. Now let's talk about practical strategies for resisting those impulse purchases and keeping more money in your pocket. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever received is to implement a 24-hour waiting period before making any non-essential purchases. If you see something you need, notice the quotation marks. Walk away and give yourself a day to think about it. Chances are, the initial urge to buy will have subsided, and you'll realize you didn't really need it after all. Another helpful tip is to switch to cash for discretionary spending categories. Withdraw a set amount of cash for things like eating out, entertainment, and shopping each week. Once the cash is gone, that's it. This tangible approach to spending can be a game changer for curbing impulse buys. Unsubscribe from those tempting email lists that bombard your inbox with sales and promotions. Out of sight, out of mind, right? It's amazing how quickly those limited time offers lose their luster when you're not constantly reminded of them. Replacing bad habits with good ones. Breaking bad habits is hard, but it's a lot easier when you replace them with positive ones. Instead of reaching for your credit card every time you're bored or stressed, find alternative activities that bring you joy without draining your bank account. Explore free or low-cost hobbies like hiking, biking, reading, or taking online courses. Get creative in the kitchen and try out new recipes instead of ordering takeout. Plan a potluck dinner with friends instead of meeting at an expensive restaurant. There are endless possibilities for fun and fulfilling experiences that won't break the bank. Another great habit to cultivate is delayed gratification. Remember that espresso machine I mentioned earlier? That was a prime example of instant gratification gone wrong. Instead of giving in to those immediate desires, practice patience and save up for the things you truly want. The satisfaction of achieving your goals and making mindful purchases will far outweigh the fleeting thrill of an impulse buy. Financial stability, a marathon, not a sprint. Controlling your spending isn't about depriving yourself or living a life devoid of fun. It's about gaining control of your finances so you can achieve your goals, both big and small. It's about building a solid foundation for a more secure future. Think of it this way: managing your money is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be times when you stumble or make mistakes. The key is to learn from those experiences and keep moving forward. When you're in control of your finances, you experience a sense of freedom and peace of mind. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck or stressing about debt. You have the means to pursue your passions, weather unexpected storms, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. You've got this. Changing your spending habits takes time and effort, but it's absolutely possible. Start by implementing one or two of the tips we've discussed today. Don't try to overhaul your entire financial life overnight. Small, consistent changes over time yield the most sustainable results. Remember, you are in control of your finances. You have the power to make choices that align with your values and goals. It won't always be easy, but the rewards of financial freedom are well worth the effort. Join the journey to financial freedom. I'm on my own journey to financial wellness, and I'd love for you to join me. Let's hold each other accountable, share tips and tricks, and celebrate our successes along the way. Head over to my YouTube channel, AnthonyDoty, and let's connect in the comments section. Tell me about your financial goals and what steps you're taking to achieve them. We're in this together,